see this until tomorrow. However, I just thought a lot of people are choosing to stay home. And for people who aren't either cuffed up or looking to do something different, a little unusual this year, I thought I would go live. So I'm going to finish up. I'm not going to finish up, but I'm going to do Virgo in depth. And we're going to look at like the first 3 months. Hi, Juan. You have to tell me your favorite Disney character. That was the question. Emailing didn't happen today. So we're going to go into Virgo the first 3 months to really see how that sets you up for the rest of the year. And we're going to look at your energy. Hey, Laura, your energy and the energy of other, which is whatever of other energy is affecting you the most. Hello, Annika. You love Goofy? I love Goofy too. Okay. So we're going to look at your energy and the energy of other, which is just whatever other energy is affecting you the most right now. I don't want to push you off the table, but we do like a 9-card spread. And then we're going to, hi, Sarah. Then we're going to clarify from there. I figured Emily says, do you need me to moderate? I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's going to be 4 people, but there's 8. So more than I expected. Cheers for New Year's. This is water. Hi, Lioness. My 52-year-old skin looks much better after a couple of glasses of water than it does after a couple of glasses of libations. And I got to get through. Hopefully, I'm definitely set up for Libra, and then we're going to see how I feel if I do Scorpio late night tonight. Scorpio feels like if ever there's a reading that should be done at midnight on New Year's, kind of like when everybody else is doing, it should be Scorpio so they could watch a private because everybody else will be distracted. Hi, Alexandra. Okay. So, I'm going to use, and Moanne, I'm going to use my Nike cards for my Closet Freaks Virgo. Does anybody make golden milk? I see Moanne says she's drinking vanilla milk. Aww. Oh, good. I figured for some people I will be keeping them company. And that works for everyone. I said to my kids, do you care? And they're like, no. We're going to watch a movie later. It's only 8:00 here now. So, and if you don't, you know what? I have to tell you, it's raining a little bit where I live. And my first thought was so happy for the dogs because rain, it's pretty rainy. Rainy enough that there's not really going to be any major fireworks, which makes me really happy for the pups and the veterans. The veterans and the pups. Hi, Stacy. If no one's ever made golden milk, go look it up. It's like eggnog on steroids, but also like super healthy. Oh my God. It tastes so delicious. It tastes like everything good about childhood being wrapped in a warm blanket after you get out of a bath or come in from the snow. Like, I don't know how to, but golden milk is amazing. But the more it's almost like the chai spices, but then you slow infuse it in whatever kind of milk makes you happy. It's super with turmeric. And you can make tons of it and then just like keep it in your fridge. I got to tell you, I just was going to say all of your cards are coming out upright. I'm a liar. filthy, stinking, dirty liar. The card, as I was saying that, came out in reverse. Okay, we're going to move this a little bit. And this is how I'm walking into 2023. In 2018, I saw this shirt online and I was like, somebody needs to get this for me for my birthday. And I was a little bit cute in 2017 and 18, even maybe 15 and 16, even though I was old. And it showed up at my place of work. It says, "Thou shalt not try me," mood 24/7. So I like to just set the tone for 2023. Thou shalt not try me. What are everybody's like fun? Oh, Lord. I don't know what to do with this. We got 2 extra cards and I don't really want to. Okay. I have to abide by my own rules. So, Virgo. The 7 of Pentacles in reverse. And if you've been around me long enough, and if you haven't, welcome to the magic, the chaos, and the shenanigans that is this community and whatever may come out of my mouth. I promise it's peppered with decent wisdom. It's just not delivered like boring wisdom. The 7 of Pentacles in reverse is one of my cards for it's time. It's one of my signs for it's time. The wait is over. And I was saying before, because my Gemini Mercury, that squirrel, hamster, whatever it wants to be on whatever day on the wheel, sometimes changes direction without a lot of warning. Please share whatever your like fun traditions. Like, I will be under the table at midnight. I will be wearing polka dot underwear. I will be blowing cinnamon. I will be sweeping my porch, putting money in my wallet, and I will be blowing cinnamon in the door. And if anybody wants more on that, I'm willing to do like a little mini live after Libra on all of that. So let me know, because if you guys want to know for the new year, I don't know where you're at. I think my new year hits before all of you. Unless, well, Annika, Happy New Year. I'm sure it's already 2023, but you can do it at any point on the 1st as well. Except for the under the table thing. But yeah, guys, let me know if you want me to do a little mini on the things I do and why. Okay. So, I've said again and again and again in the last couple of like Friday night tarots that I've been doing Virgo may not be hearing their name spoken all the time in the latest transits, but you've had anything that's been happening in Taurus trining, Pluto in Capricorn trining your sign. We would have everything happening in Pisces opposing your sign, and there's been some weird conjunctions there. And this very long historical Mars and Gemini transit squaring Virgo placements. So, although you haven't been, maybe you don't hear your name every 5 minutes for Virgo placements, a lot has been kind of like approaching your placements like a ninja that you didn't see coming and you didn't hear coming and no one told you about it because it's a squaring aspect or a trining aspect. Hey, little John, welcome. So the last couple of readings I've gotten for Virgo, I really have liked them. And here's the good news. So Pluto is leaving Capricorn. So that will have stopped kind of talking to your sign for a while, because you're in conjunct Aquarius. You're just not going to feel it the way you've been feeling it. In when it's been in Capricorn, and you've been feeling that for 15 years amongst your placements. And this is also great if you have a sixth house sun or a sixth house moon or a sixth house stellium. So now things are going to change a little bit. The nodes are going to move into Aries and Libra, and those are in conjunct. So those are not really going to bother you. And Jupiter, after it does its wham bam thank you ma'am to Aries, is going to, I want to say May, June, it goes into Taurus. So that's going to be a nice thing to be trining your aspects. So there's a lot. Saturn does move into Pisces, but it's not going to feel the same way that like Pluto and Capricorn did. So there is a lot of change and a slow releasing. So while there was, happy Aries moon for sure. I love a good Aries moon. And did I see Karen on here too? I can't remember. While some signs are going to feel like a complete relief from some of the pressure and the astrological transits, not really bothering them as much. Virgo is going to be like a slow release. Okay. So what I love is, just as this has started changing and feeling a little better, we have the Six of Pentacles coming out of you have past, present, and future energy. Your other energy that's affecting you here, you are there, Karen, has a past, present, and future card representation, and then the alchemy that those two energies create, past, present, future, down the center. And so for you, the thing that's most recently affected you, it's almost like the tease, like it's almost like reciprocity. And we've been seeing this all year. I mean, it's kind of stayed with a good amount of continuity. Virgo's readings about starting to finally get a little reciprocity. And I don't know if any of you were around the night that Connie Joe joined me, and she said Virgo's partner is asking Virgo to be like more romantic and everything. And I was like, well, tell them to pick up their underwear and they could be romantic again, right? It's hard to be romantic when I'm doing all your work for you, emotional labor and physical labor. And that I said I was going to create a strip chores poker game or board game for Virgos for their partners. Want to play a game? Here's the game. Start doing chores and I take off an item of clothing. But there has been a kind of new vibration that I feel for Virgo and have felt, where there's going to start to be reciprocation, because there have been some spiritual themes and also astrological themes, and they usually support each other to a decent degree. People who used to be space fillers and people who do more in service, I'm going to say people who try and they sit down and they have the conversation and they're like, listen, I love you. And I obviously want this to keep going, but this is what I'm going to need from you because it means so much to me. And I've said this before. People think like Virgos are super cleaners that have OCD and they're idiots or they're mean if you leave a ring on their table. Like, it's just a table. Why are you going to talk to me like that? The relationship should be more than the water ring. It's not that. It's that you don't care about what matters to them. That's what hurts their feeling. The water ring doesn't hurt their feeling. Does it annoy them a little bit? Yeah. But if they're upset with you, it's because they feel unheard. And everybody, I don't care what placement you are, everybody wants to feel heard and seen and understood and listened to. and cared enough to be heard, right? It all goes back to like the effort that we give and the effort that we get. And so there's going to be a shift. And I feel like, yeah, should I do a whole show about like what the shifts are going to probably look like? Yeah. But is it important to make sure Virgo knows, especially? Mm-hmm. I don't think you're sitting down and draining yourself, because the third or fourth or fifth or sixth conversation that Virgo has with that person, and Virgo almost judges themselves for too long about whether they're able to have an effect to help somebody else change and grow. They are the sign of self-mastery, and they are the sign of service. They're not the sign of picky. They are the sign of service, and they are the sign of self-mastery. And part of how they serve others is to help them reach their self-mastery as well. That is part of how they show love. It's lovely that they're starting, because I want to make it clear for all Virgos. While you are in active conversation constantly with a partner, anyone you love, doesn't matter if it's at work, if it's a friendship, if it's kids, and you get yes to death and nothing actually changes, the apology isn't changed behavior. A verbal apology is nailing jello to the wall. It doesn't really mean anything. Apology is change behavior, continued change behavior, not momentary change behavior. There's a difference on what we do to just get the punishment over with, right? And what we do because we care and we want to evoke change. And we feel that kind of energy and effort in our partners as well, in all of our relationships. I just don't think that we're going to have a ton of extra conversations. We have a friend joining us. I don't think we're going to have a ton of extra conversations about this anymore. I'm not sure if Virgo knows, but the thing of it is that while that person may not seem to care because they're not changing their behavior, while that person may seem unaffected, while you may feel like you're not worth the effort, I promise you, when those pullback happens, and they are going to happen, especially in 2023, Pisces and Saturn says there's consequences for your actions in the things that aren't tangible, and effort is going to be one of those things. When you pull back, and it's sad that it takes that, and some of you may lose respect for the person that you're trying to get on board, but when you pull back, trust me, it's felt. It's felt. So recently you've had a little reciprocation and it feels nice. Don't let things relax, Virgo, just because you got a little taste of what you already deserved. Temperance is what I'm getting from their side. There's an attempt at balance. There's an attempt at not having extreme behaviors. And what that means is that an extreme 180, an extreme correction of the behavior that you are like, I can't do this anymore. There's going to be like an extreme there, and there probably has been. I feel like for the community I'm speaking to, there probably has been those conversations, and the correction is really like, oh, this is so lovely. They're really changing. They're really making an effort. And it just kind of slowly goes back to, the old behavior. So it's in extremes of, and not, there's no actual moderation. There's an attempt at moderation with temperance. and it feels called to. Now, what I get in the center here for the past is the World. So there's a big change here. Now, again, if you've been with me for a while the wheel, when it turns, is the closing of a chapter, the World is the closing of a whole book. So we have to clarify and figure out, is that book closing on these two energies together, or is it closing on the old behaviors? Very interesting behavior. There's a lot of love on the board, Virgos. So if you don't have her in your life yet, you know, 2023 may be coming in hot for you. Then in the current energy that's available to you, is very un-Virgoian, and I love it for you. I hate to tell you, Virgos, this, my friends, is the Fool. This is leaping without looking, dare I say. A little bit possibly falling in love. It's going on a journey. It can also be traveling. Okay, there we go. It can also be traveling. But what it definitely isn't is checking, making a list and checking it twice before the leap. But it also feels really good. It feels really good. And what I love is, like, the reason why I feel like this card especially speaks of reinvigorated, like interesting or love or just some kind of, is because she very clearly is listening to music on her phone and, distracted but happily. Also, the outfit just makes me think of, like, it's like Renaissance meets hippie. So it's like the very Aquarian, very new start, very like breathing. Like, if we think about the Renaissance, that came after a very dark period, and it brought love and art, and life was breathed back into everything. Yeah. We're going to clarify that. On their side, we have a little Knight of Cups. Now, again, if you've been here for a while, you know that, like, okay, fine, Knight of Cups. I can like it depending. I don't always love it because they can be a little bit of a love bomber. I like more of a follow through on a Knight of Cups. Then in the alchemy, the energy in between the present, if this is, yeah, I just, for some reason, I feel called to hold that. I want you to study. Now, with this Knight of Cups, it's almost like there's a pause. And while they look very cool on the horse, there's almost like a regretful, I usually see Page of Cups as the apology. I don't think there's an apology here, but I think that there's an understanding that there is a deficit to be made up, and it's trying to be made up with mush and words. Then we have the Six of Swords, but it's in reverse. This was the card that I said, all of your cards are in the upright. And then this one said liar and popped up in reverse. Six of Swords is leaving choppy. So the energy between the two of you is very like, should I stay or should I go? It's like, it's not dead in the water, but the thing that's interesting is on my board, these are like this. They're facing in two different directions. This is you, this is them. The cards are not like this facing each other. So it's like both parties. I don't know if this Knight of Cups has things a little backwards, if you get what I'm saying. That's not you, that's them. And you are not wanting to be held back. I promise you that when that that energy comes back and feels like it breathes life into you, I really feel like this is Pluto leaving Capricorn and not pressing on Virgo any longer. Give me 1 second, good people, because somebody locked the cat out. And I think one of my kids was trying to be helpful by like closing the door so he wouldn't bother everyone, but I don't think anybody's bothered by the cat. Yeah, and he's right under my feet again. He does not like the fireworks. He does not like thunder. Hi, Adva. Let's get that back. Thank you. Fur baby mom. Okay, do you need to come up? Do you need to come up since you're interrupting Virgo? Okay, yes, you can come up. He like puts his paws up. He has a giant baby. We're thinking about getting one of those like baby wraps for him. Even when we're outside, he needs like a baby Bjorn or a stroller or something. So I find it interesting that those energies, now, if I normally got the Fool and the Love of Cups, I'm going to say those two people are in for, that's some love coming up on both sides, but those cards are facing away. And so I think everybody's got 1 foot out to the future, and 1 foot still stuck with that person, and we'll see whether it's like actually stuck or not. Then coming up, this is so interesting. That's you. You've still got your defenses up, and they're trying to protect whatever. It's like they aren't coming in they should have been protecting up here. They should have been valuing the first conversations. They should have been hearing and listening and getting you and truly doing the work before there was a threat. Before there was a threat of you having to walk away or just decide that this was not helping you to live your best life. And so now you're still being defensive, but this is the card of advocacy. So do you see how this is where they're standing in front of all the wands? This is defending what was worked so hard to be built. And this is, right? They're standing behind the gate here. They're still trying to defend what's behind them. Evidently, he wanted a conversation with all you Virgos. So these are very interesting. They're kind of the most matched energies ever. Nikki is not a Virgo. His sister is a Virgo. He is a Libra, if you cannot tell, with a Taurus moon because he's full of handsome. This is very Venusian, and he has a Zovdic frame as well. He is my big boy for big boy season. I don't know what to tell you, Virgos, but here we go. This is in the middle. This is future energy that will be available for you to step into. And I'm going to say around March, maybe April. Now, the Lovers also used to be called the Choice. So you could be faced with a big, big choice to make, but there's definitely a divine connection here. And I think that we need to clarify. I want to get my comments here to make sure I don't miss anybody, because sometimes everything doesn't come up at the same time with the delay. Okay, so let's start clarifying so you can see. I want to get one of those setups where you can like also see do you want to do anything? Cats are magical. Okay, so, okay, yeah. Wow. No. I don't need you to get him. He wants, somebody actually came and took him out of the room and closed the door, and all he did was meow. He wants to get in, and there's fireworks. No, he's been, if you rewind back just a minute or two, Emily, you will see you'll see that he was face first taking center stage. It's very cute. I don't think anybody's mad at it. So clarifying the Fool card for you is a very interesting set of cards. I'm going to put them this way. We have the Sun card, and we have the Hierophant. The Moon card and the Hierophant. The Moon usually says that there's a truth that still needs to come out. There's some kind of piece of information that you don't have, which would explain the whole vibe of the Fool, because the Fool doesn't always have all the information. It's okay, babe. That wasn't anything. That was just a remote. The Fool doesn't have all the information. Sometimes that's why it's leaping without looking, and maybe it doesn't want to have all the information. But there is definitely like a piece of information. If you have water signs involved here, there's also the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the like more masculine energy concerning when we see the High Priestess. This is the masculine energy to the High Priestess, right? So this is something that's called to a certain degree, but you're supposed to examine if there's too many rules around it. If there's if you're bringing in constructs and the Hierophant is it's a really funny card to interpret, because the Hierophant can be hierarchy in belief systems, and that kind of gets in our way. So you're supposed to look at what is attached to heartache and belief systems that might have been handed to you. The Hierophant can, like, if I have this with certain cards, I know that this is like a judge or somebody who rules over court. This could be somebody who rules over marriage, but it involves rules and boundaries and parameters we feel obligated to participate in. And so you're supposed to be taking a look or completely letting go. Like, what breaks your heart and what broke your heart that you're willing to do this, Virgo? That makes the Fool make a lot of sense to me. For Virgo, I wouldn't blink if Cancer or Pisces or Gemini or Sagittarius got the Fool. I wouldn't blink at that. Leo, tons of signs. But Virgo, that's not, it's like I said, it's not very Virgoian. But there is a truth. When the moon is in play, it means it might still be hidden, but it's always kind of coming. It's going to come out. There's a full moon on January 6th. I don't think that's when you get your truth. I think it's going to be the full moon in Leo in Aquarius season. I think that's when you're going to get a piece of information you didn't have before, Virgos. Let's look at this Nine of Cups. He's very happy on the couch now. But somebody put off fireworks and he was scared. So, okay. That is interesting. This Knight of Cups, where they're kind of maybe not heading in the direction that would be as helpful. We have the star card in reverse. So like, it feels like this person feels like they're doing their healing work, but they may not be. It feels like they may think that the apology is what is required of the healing work, like the epiphany of like, oh, maybe I should have treated you better when I had you, encompasses what the healing work looks like for them. And we all know that that's not what healing, you have to look inside. You can't just fix something with somebody else. That doesn't ever fix your life, right? Then we have the Two of Swords. There's so much indecision with them. And for a handful of you, this is about somebody who's been too weak. It's funny, they've postured and somehow they've gotten you to do more work than you should have, or even possibly made you feel like you were the one who had to, I don't want to say watch your P's and Q's, because I just don't want to say that, but that's what I'm hearing. It's not a phrase I normally use. It's almost like they have somehow, somewhere in the past, had you a little anxiety ridden that you would lose them. And now I don't actually think they're as brave as you. I think for some of you, they may be in a situation that they are stuck in, but they're not really stuck. They're just not brave enough to move out of it and bear the consequences. I hate to say that, but that's what I am feeling for this. If you're out of contact, this is the Pamela Coleman Smith 100th Centurion anniversary of the Rider-Waite. So this includes 4 other cards that weren't in the original deck because they just decided not to put them in there because they didn't fit the major and minor arcana. But this is the card of dreams. But these are dreams that interestingly enough, sometimes it's really fun to wake up from a nightmare and be like, oh, thank God that wasn't really happening, right? I don't mean it was fun to have the nightmare. It's nice to wake up from a nightmare, but the things that hurt is when your reality is so bad that you would rather be in dreams, and then you wake up and you go, oh yeah, that stuff that's happening in my life is still happening in my life. Like every morning is kind of sobering. These are where their dreams are full of comfort. Happy New Year, alien. Um, their dreams are full of comfort. I don't know that real life feels that way. There's a lot of posturing going on, but I'm going to be honest with you, Virgo, and I don't mean to like insult your person or the person you've been dealing with. I think that the posturing has been going on for a very long time. Like, and it's so genuine who they are to posture out of survival mode or whatever, not because they're a terrible person, that you may have known them for so long that you took the posturing as like a character trait of theirs that you could have thought you could have banked money on, when it's been posturing, like almost like a fake confidence, fake swagger, fake and fake confidence to like pull back and know that you're going to fill that space when they actually think that they think more of you than they think of themselves. That just came out so clear. That's why the Six of Swords is in reverse, because they don't know, quite frankly, they don't know whether their attempts are going to work. It's almost like they're preparing themselves that if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And, you know, they're prepared for that you might still leave in that Six of Swords, but I don't think anything's definite yet. Let's clarify. That Nine of Wands and that Seven of Wands sent me. I don't think I've ever gotten that. Wow. 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 All right, let's clarify this Seven of Wands. I think I might treat myself to a new deck. I love all these decks, but I feel like I need something with like more words because of the artwork that I don't already have. That feels necessary for 2023. Okay. I'm going to show you theirs first. The other energy. Remember I said there's a difference between I built this, you're not knocking it down. Thou shall not try me. That's the Nine of Wands. This is trying to advocate for, you know, you're behind instead of in front of defending, you're behind advocating in this card. And it's a nervous protection. There's not the thou shall not try me. This is really trying, but it doesn't feel as a stable energy as the Nine of Wands is like unfuckwithable. Eight of Swords, anxiety, trying to keep, this is, I mean, the sun. This is, they're trying to protect the Tower moment from happening. They are full of anxiety while they're in this position, and possibly in working this energy from really not feeling good. That's kind of active depression. By the way, Lee, if you're still on, he has curled up on the couch in my office. I think he loves being in this energy in sessions and whatnot, but also because of the fireworks. I think I'm just his anti-anxiety human. I'm his Prozac in a human form. I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bad for this end of the table, but at the same time, they have to go through this. There's like the card that's missing, and Gemma from Gemstone Tarot. If you're not already following her, she's brilliant, and she's just a lovely human being. I love her. She's a Pisces, and sometimes once in a while, someone will leave a comment on her channel that's just uncalled for, and I get so protective of her. She's just such a sweet person, but she's brilliant and funny. But sometimes she'll talk about the card that's missing. It's like we know that it should be on the table, but it's not here. And for me, that's the Emperor or the Hierophant in reverse, that ego death, King of Wands in reverse, that kind of energy. What are you defending? You're defending a divine union. I honestly think there might be a second person coming in for you towards March. This is also reunion. It could be another past person. The only thing that I don't like is I feel like if this is reunion, these two came out together. Reunion through trickery, I don't like. Let me give you an example since you are all now experts. You have PhD in Mars in Gemini retrograde, right? This is Mercury, the god of Mercury, literally, right? That's who the magician is. In reverse, he's Loki. He's trickster energy, maybe a little manipulative. This is manifestation, figuring out how to use all of your spiritual tools and setting out, because this is the first card. So it's a great progression. This is the first card, the Fool. And then the Magician comes after. This is setting out for a journey, and this is making sure you have what you need for your journey so that everything that you need to have your journey be the best that it could possibly be is supplied to you. This is when it isn't naturally coming to you and you're like, well, I'll figure it out, but I'm going to figure it out however I have to. And if that means I have to take somebody else's tools, then I got to take somebody else's tools. But better yet, unless, what would be even better than just grabbing somebody else's tools, if that's what I need, because I need what I need for my journey and it just didn't come the way I would like it to. I'm going to trick them into giving them to me willingly. So that I don't love with a reunion card. That I don't love with a reunion card. So I think, though, that you have two energies in here. I mean, we have divine. I'm not going to lie. Listen, if you're a Virgo and you don't already have a personal reading coming up, I would get one. Because even with all the clarification, I can't help but think you have choices. And when I have the Hierophant and the Four of Wands on your side of the table, those are possible marriage indicators, divine union indicators that will lead into a commitment. But it feels like a choice. The Lover's card really feels like, here's the uncomfortable thing that nobody talks about. Sorry. Happy New Year's. I'm going to talk about uncomfortable stuff. Connie, Joe, and I tease that I should change my channel to like Susie Evolutionary, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I might do it. Not all divine connections are easy. Doesn't mean they're not divine. And when you've experienced truly divine connection, and that's different than like chemistry, truly divine connection, once you've experienced, it's hard not to compare all other connections. But once in a while, something comes along that's so beautifully comforting for your soul, for your needs, for your heart. And I feel like, Virgo, you may be making a decision towards the spring. And I think you have more than one person. I think you have somebody come in who's going to be like, oh my God, sign me up. And you're going to be like, that's what I've been trying to tell everybody, that this is all pretty good. It's not a bad deal. Why would you fight it? Why is everybody else giving me such a hard time or done me grimy? Okay, this one gets it, right? So, I just feel like you're going to have a big choice. And I feel like I could clarify this all night and it's still going to give me choices. So I think we talked about this last night in Leo. I think more than doing the monthly ones, I'm going to maybe do like 3-month checkups on these big energies. And I would love for you to all update me as well. Let's pull an oracle card for Virgo. Should take a picture of Nikki sleeping on my couch so you all see him. Let's pull, what ones do we want? What do we want for Virgo? What makes the most sense if we're going to be talking about profound changes and choices? That is my stomach. I have not eaten today. That growling. I ate a little bit, but not enough. Did a calorie reduction thing back like 4 months ago. And honestly, like, I shouldn't complain, but just like I have to force myself all my like grams of protein and my calories every day. Good. Okay, so listen, I'm going to do the unicorn cards because you guys can take it, your Virgos, because I feel like what is the message you really need to hear that you can take. And sometimes you might not like me right in the beginning when I pull this card. All right, so what is the unicorn card? These are really blunt and have bad words. So if that's going to offend you, you can put your fingers in your ears. Use earmuffs. Say la, 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 la. What does Virgo really need to hear to wake them up so that they don't move back into, they don't get manipulated or trickstered into any kind of reunions that are not healthy enough yet for them? I just feel like somebody's going to try to push the reunion before they're actually really ready for it. And I don't fucking force it. Allow that shit to come to you. You are a magnet, Virgo. Feng shui your house, feng shui your bedroom, feng shui your body, and say to yourself again and again, money, love, abundance is always seeking me out. And then just make pathways so that you don't get in its way, but don't go meet it. Don't go try to bring it in. It'll find you. Wake up every day and go, oh my God, I am so lucky. And I have to tell you, I get off appointments with some of you and I literally close out and I yell in my office. I am so lucky that I get to do this and I get to interact with these incredible humans and I get to play even the smallest part in showing somebody the mirror of how incredible they are. And so I have just decided that I'm a very lucky girl. And since when I have started doing that, things will change. I mean, you know what you can do? Test it on one of those dumb phone games. Just say, oh my God, I'm so lucky. I'm always so lucky. I'm always getting this thing. I'm so lucky. I'm always winning. And but feel it and believe it. And I promise you, then start trying it with big stuff. I don't think I mentioned it the entire time because I think a lot of you already made appointments. But in case you didn't know, I have the flash sale. It's going on for, gosh, a little bit more than, I want to say, like 36 hours from here. It ends Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is Monday morning Pacific. But I have crazy inexpensive under $30 15-minute appointments, which I promise you are never 15 minutes. They're going to be closer to 30 minutes, or 20 or 25. But those are also great for check-ins. And then my biggest appointment has like 40 something dollars off of it. But I have 15, 30, an hour, and 45-minute appointments all on sale. Plus, go check out Susie Evolutionary. I really need to make a space for reviews for the people who have had appointments. That's where I work with Connie Joe, and you have access to everything, both of our sets of knowledge, both of our genres that we excel in, and all 5 Claire gifts at their strongest. And then together it's just amplifies everything. It's an incredible experience, often like very moving, and we include Reiki, and it's in a trauma informed environment as well. So those are also crazy. I think the one is $50 off. So go check this. It's on my website, Susie Evolutionary. And I'm hopping on over to Libra. Virgos, I hope you have a very happy new year if I don't see you at Libra. And I will do a little quickie for everyone for New Year's rituals to help start 2023 right. Go get your I take no shit. I do no harm and take no shit t-shirts and put them on. Thou shall not try me 24/7. Go write that someplace. And I'll see you in a few.